Alright, since I've already done my re-review slash rant on Mr. Pickles and Barney's Great Adventure, well, this time I am gonna do a review on another movie classic that I really like from 1945, and that's Roger and Hammerstein's State Fair. And without further ado, cue the intro. Hi guys, this is Jonathan, a Disney and Tom and Jerry fan 2020 here, and today I am going to do a movie review on State Fair that came in the year of 1945. So basically what the plot's about is the Flake family is getting ready for the Iowa State Fair, and each with their own hopes for the trip, and Father Abel tends to his pig Blue Boy and bets his neighbor Dave Miller $5 that the pig is gonna win at the fair, and that the Flake family will have a great time at the fair without any ill experiences. And their daughter Margie, who's played by John Crane, goes into this melancholy mood, and then she packs for the fair and she sings the song "It Might As Well Be Spring," and she muses about how the fair will at least give her a break from singing and doing the same things every day from the farm on the farm. And then Harry tells her that he can't go to the fair with her because he has to take care of his cows, and describes the new modern farm he wants to have after they're married, with a farmhouse made out of prefabricated plastic with linoleum floors throughout. And then she thinks old houses are charming, but is not enthusiastic about Harry's idea or about Harry himself. And Mother Melissa, she's preparing pickles and mincemeat to enter in the cooking competition. The mincemeat recipe calls for brandy, but Melissa objects adding it because she didn't believe in cooking with alcohol, even though Abel disagrees and thinks that the brandy is essential to the recipe. And then she goes to the phone and she secretly puts some Brady in the mincemeat, and the phone calls for Wayne, which is the son, whose girlfriend, Eleanor, is calling to tell him that she can't go to the fair with him because her mother is sick. And then Melissa comes back from the phone to her mincemeat, and not knowing Abel already added. She didn't even know that Abel had already added brandy and adds even more. And they head off to the fair, and Wayne's first stop was the ring toss. Well, he lost $8 the previous year, and he'd been practicing all year in hopes of getting even. He repeatedly wins the game, and as he keeps winning, the barker gets upset and threatens to call the police. And the pretty girl defends him, saying that she's the daughter of the chief of police, and to prevent the scene, the barker refunds. Then Wayne's $8 in his addition to his other own winnings, and he tries to make a date with the girl, but she says she's late for her appointment and she rushes off, promising that she'll be in the Midway that evening and he should look out for her. Meanwhile, on the roller coaster, Margie gets into an empty seat for two, and a couple ask for the seat in front of her, and the man is already seated. And he leaves the seat for the couple and sit next to her. And when the ride takes fast turn and goes down quickly, she clutches her neighbor. And after the ride, the man invites her to have a Coke. And the man, whose name is Pat, who's a reporter, is covering the fair for the Des Moines newspaper. And he suggests that he and Margie spend some time together at the fair, and if things don't work out, and they could break it with no ill will. And Pat and Margie spent the day together, and she becomes like delighted by his stories about the many cities where he had worked, and he tells her about his ambition to get a job on a large newspaper, and they plan to meet again that evening. And he tells her not to worry about wanting to break up because he wants to do that and she'll know, and he just won't be around. And then she comes to tend the blue boy and finds him lying down, breathing hard. Seems to be sick. A friend. And then Frank brings in his prize, female pig named Esmeralda. And when he sees her, he then gets back up and talks to her by grunting, which is pretty funny. And then that evening on the Midway, he finds her while Wayne looks for the girl he met at the ring toss booth. Wayne finds the chief of police and asks about the daughter, only to find that she's a little girl and has no sister. And then Wayne sees that the girl he's looking for was actually Emily Edwards, who was a singer. And with the dance band performing at the fair. And after Emily finished her song, That's For Me, him and her drink and they dance together, while meanwhile, him and her have fun riding the highest sailplane at the fair. It seemed like they were having a great time as well. And the next day, she had fallen for Pat and Wayne had fallen for Emily. And at breakfast time, Abel was excited about Blue Boy, of what Blue Boy's doing that he forgot. Yeah, he had already said the blessing and says it again. And following breakfast comes the pickle and mincemeat judging, which has Mother Melissa worried because her biggest competition, Miss Edwin Metcalf, wins the first prize every year. But then she wins first prize for her sour pickles and also a special award for her mincemeat with the brandy. One of the judges likes the mincemeat so much he actually loves it. He can't stop eating it. And then he takes her Melissa and Margie's picture for the newspaper and then takes Margie to a horse race. And Pat's horse wins, and he and Margie are so happy that they end up kissing. And in the meantime, Wayne asks Emily to spend the evening with him, but she declines because she has a previous engagement to host a birthday party for Marty. And then she invites Wayne to come to a party instead. A song plugger named McGee arrives with a new song he wants Emily to sing, but her and him brush him off. So McGee gives Wayne the copy of the song and asks him to pass it along to Emily. And that night at the party, Emily asks Wayne to sing, and he demurs at first, but then later on, after Marty makes fun of him, he then takes out the song McGee gave to him. Isn't it kind of fun? And he sings it with Emily to the applause of the guests. Marty, who has been drinking and seems jealous, finds out that Wayne got the song from McGee and insinuates that McGee probably would pay Wayne to promote the song to Emily and that Wayne is cashing in on his friendship. And then he becomes so angry he punches Marty and walks out. And Emily runs after Wayne and tells him that she'll get rid of the party guests and spend the rest of the evening just with him. And then they kiss and then they embrace. Part 2 is coming, so stay tuned for that.